Hello, welcome to Mud, Soil and Tears. My name's Kerry and today I've got a few jobs that I'm going to be getting on with at our allotment plots. The first one that I'm going to be doing is planting in my new fruit tree. I bought a pear tree this weekend. I've got some more trees coming, so I've been sort of staking out an area where I want to put all my fruit trees, and I've decided the back of this allotment here is going to be the perfect spot to have my fruit trees, and then hopefully they can cross-pollinate each other as they go. So the one I've got from this weekend is a pear tree, so I'm going to put that in now. So I thought you could watch doing that, and then after that I've got my onions from last week that I found a bed for that I'm going to pop out in the ground. So this is the space. I'm just going to move the camera down for you. This is the space here where I'm just about to go and dig a hole, and then we'll go get the pear tree and we'll put it in. So this is the pear tree that I'm going to put in. So it's just a stem for now until the spring comes and hopefully it'll start blooming. I've been soaking the roots in some water for about an hour now. I just had a bucket and just filled it up with some cold water, and I've been soaking the roots. And now I'm going to pop it in. I'm going to pop it into the hole, and I'm going to put it in with some of this, just some compost that I've mixed up with some coffee grounds and a bit of the compost that came with it as well at the bottom. So I'm just going to mix all that in with it and pop it into this hole that I've just dug. So we'll do that now. That's it, that's the fruit tree in, that's the first pear tree in. So hopefully we're going to have a big long line right the way along here of all of the fruit trees. It's started to rain a bit now, so we'll go into the polytunnel. I've got some onions that I need to put in, so we'll go and do the onions, and I'll show you how I've been multi-sowing the onions as well. So here in the polytunnel are my onions. These are the onions that I sowed on the 9th of January, and I am going to pop them out because they're really big now, and I want them to have some more space. So I've prepared a bed for them, and what I'm going to do with the bed is I'm going to cover it with some fleece and some netting as well, so that if we do happen to get any sudden snow coming in or anything like that, I can keep them protected, because we do live in the north of England and it does usually snow in February. So I'm going to fleece them and cover them with some netting, and we'll do that in a minute down in the actual allotment. But first of all, I thought I'd show you multi-sowing these. If you haven't seen multi-sowing before, I have been really impressed with the way it's gone so far. I don't know how it's going to turn out in the end, but I've sown 5 or 6 in here in each module, and I'm going to just plant them out like that in a bunch together. And then what should happen is they should grow quite nicely all together, and I should have bunches of smaller onions instead of one big onion and then another big onion and then another big onion, because as I've said, this is about feeding my family, and I don't think one single onion at a time, I don't have the space for that. I need to plant as much produce as I can, so this hopefully is going to work better doing it multi-sown. So I'll show you how I do that. The first thing though that I'm going to do before I get on with it is I am going to sieve my compost. And this is something that I've only just started doing, but it is amazing the difference that it makes. So I just stick my compost into this soil sieve, shake it through into this bucket here that I've got for collecting my compost in, and then it comes out lovely. So I'll do that, and then we'll start sowing in from there. Okay, so we've got the soil all nicely sieved now. It's in here. I'm going to just show you this compost. It's so nice, so thin, and so easy to use, rather than when it comes out of the compost bags, it's so thick and claggy and really difficult to do anything with. So what I've done is I've filled this tray up here with this compost, and then all I'm going to do is I'm going to pop these onions in. So this is onion Leela, that I've got. The other ones that I've grown are Red Baron. Now Leela is a bit of a different one. This one can be used as spring onions, and it can also grow on into full-sized onions as well. So I thought I'd just put these ones in, see how they go. I might take some of spring onions and I might leave some to grow into a whole patch. So let's get the seed out. So the seeds are really quite small. And what I want to do is get about 5 or 6 in each one. Doesn't matter if I get too many in, because once they come through, I'll just pick out some of the smaller ones and keep the strongest ones. So I'm just going to pop them in now. So I'm just getting a little sprinkle in each one, not really being too precise. Just throwing them in. And that's it. All I need to do is just grab some more of my compost and just put a little layer over the top of them. Make sure they're all covered over. And that's it, all done. So the last thing I want to do is pop in a little tag. Just got a lollipop stick, and I'm just going to write on onion, Leela, and the date that I put it in, just so that I know, because I'm trying to understand the dates that I'm putting things in, what's working, what's not. So I'm putting dates on everything so I know, so that I can write that all down in a notebook and follow it through and know what worked and what grew, what worked planting early, what worked better planting late for me where I am in this area. So today is I think the 5th of February, so 5th of the 2nd, and then that's it. Pop that in there, firm that down. I might give them a little bit of a water. Now these I'm not going to leave in the polytunnel. I'm going to bring them home and I'm going to germinate them on a window ledge. Now I will take you back home later and I'm going to show you my window ledge seedling area that I've made. So this is going to grow on the window ledge at home till it germinates. Once they've all germinated, I'm going to bring them back here like I did with the others and just leave them to grow in the polytunnel. I mean, to be honest, it's been a really warm February and it's really nice in here. I'm not even wearing a coat at the moment in here. So seems to have stopped raining. It's all quiet. So we'll take them other onions back down to the allotment. We'll have a look at putting them in, and I'll show you a apple tree that me and the kids grew from just a shop bought seed last year. So we've got that apple tree in the allotment down there. So I'll show you how big that's got over a year, just so you can see the difference between that one and the pear that I bought. So let's head off down there now. So this is the bed that I'm going to use for the onions. Now, you can see the problem I have. Whenever I want to sow anything, everybody has to get involved. So it does make things a little bit trickier because I have to keep pushing them out every 2 minutes and they just come back again. I should have locked them away really, but I feel a bit mean doing it now. So let's push the chickens out the way. So here are the onions. All I'm going to do, not for you lot, all I'm going to do is just grab them out in their bundle with their roots, and I'm just going to pop them in here. No, not for you. Pop them in. Just firm the soil in around them. Please don't eat my onions. Go on. Go on, out the bed. Okay, and then the next one I'm going to do exactly the same again. Grab it. See. Go on. Go on. Go on. And put the next one in. Okay. I'm going to do the same all the way along the bed. So we'll do that now and then we'll come back and have a look in a minute. Okay, so this is the bed now. The chickens have finally realised that it's onions and got a little bit fed up. They're still hovering. so I have to keep my eye on it. The minute I turn my back, they'll be over here, but I've got them in. Now, it was a bit harder than I thought it was going to be, really. When I've watched other people do it, they've stayed in a clump together and they've just gone in. Mine, I think I didn't pack the soil so tightly around, which is a lesson to learn. I need to make sure I do that so that they all stay together, because when I put them in, they all started falling apart and going all over the place. So I've got them in now. This is them in the bed now, they look all right. So what I'm going to do, I've got some fleece here that I'm going to cover them with, just for some protection against the wind and keep them a little bit warmer. And then I've got some netting at the back that's going to go over these blue things, and I will pin that down so that the chickens can't get to them and stamp on them and eat them when I'm not looking. And also, if it snows, it will stop the weight of the snow going onto them, because they'll be covered with the netting, will hold the snow off them, which is amazing. So let's do that, and then we'll have a look at what it looks like after. So this is the fleece. I've just popped it over. I just laid it gently over the top, and I've just held it down at the sides with some bits of wood. And what hopefully will happen is, as the seedlings get stronger and grow, they'll just push it up as they go. So it should be absolutely fine to keep it over for now, and it does give them that little bit of extra protection. And then I've got the netting that I've just thrown over the top here. And I'm going to tighten that off now, and hopefully that will keep them safe. Chickens behind me are eating the seedlings that I didn't put in. So sneaky, you know. So there's a couple of seedlings that I haven't put in yet because they're a bit on the small side. For some reason they germinated quite unevenly on my window ledge, so I guess this side must have been the colder side, further away from the room. So they're just growing a bit more slowly, so I thought I'd leave them for another week or so. And also, if anything bad happens in here, then I've got a few backup ones that I can put in, because yeah, I don't know what's going to happen here. I don't know if it's going to go well or not. I don't know. We'll see what happens. So let's tighten this off. I think I've got some pins in the side, so let's tighten this off. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go and grab a few more nails and pop a couple of more nails in here, because I seem to be missing a few side bits to hold them down, because it's just not quite tight enough, because it's bending in the middle. If it snows, or if one of these lovely ladies jumps on it, they're going to jump right on it. So I'm going to go and do that, and then we'll go and have a look at the apple tree that I mentioned from last year. So this is last year's apple tree that we grew from a shop bought seed. And do you know what? It's doing really well, and we haven't actually really done a lot of stuff to it. So we grew, I think we did from seed about 3 or 4 of them. I think the kids did 1 each, and this is the only one that made it. But do you know, it's growing new shoots for this year. It's growing this big in a year, which isn't bad really when you consider the size of the pear tree that I bought, that's probably a couple of years old now. This is doing amazing. I mean, I don't expect us to get any fruit on it for maybe another couple of years, and it might not even fruit at all, being a shop bought one. And you know, you never know what you're going to get from a shop bought one either, because the seeds don't tend to germinate the same apples, because of how they've been bred. So I mean, we'll see what we get. We just thought it'd be something fun to try, and we might try it again this year with something else as well, maybe some plums or something, just to see if we get anything, and then what we do get. It's just sat down here in the corner of the allotment on its own, but it's doing amazing, and I'm so pleased with it, and the kids absolutely love it, that they've managed to grow this little mini tree. I think we might give it a little bit of support this growing season, maybe a cane or something in it, just to give it a little bit of support, because it has been a bit battered by the weather, but it's withstood 2 storms so far, so it's doing all right from our little shop bought seed. So that's it for today. I will do another video during the week this week because I've done a lot of seeds that are planted. So I'll do that, and also when I get back home, I will come back and I will show you my seed storage system on my window as well, so you can see how I'm managing to germinate the seeds at home. But for now, bye bye.